Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Reptile Ramblings. I'm your host, Nate. Brian's running behind a little bit, but tonight I'm joined by a very special guest, Mr. Jacob Bratz of Longleaf Reptilia. Oh, speak of the devil. Uh, uh, Longleaf Reptilia. We also got. Let's see if I can get this adjusted. There we go. Longleaf Reptilia. Uh, Flippin' Tin, Herpetoculture Network, or Herpetoculture Podcast, I should say. And better question is, what don't you do?
I'm not very good at catching snakes, so there's that.
Okay, but joining us tonight, as always, is my vociferous co-host, Mr. Bryant McDowell.
Hey, Ramblers, what's going on? Hey, Jake, long time no see, my man.
Yeah,
You
man,
look
how you
good,
been?
dude. You look
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
very good. Yeah. I'm liking the beard, man.
Yeah, trying to. I actually just woke up from a nap, so it's all flat on my face.
Dude, yeah, I texted Nate a little bit ago. It's like it's a good day today, but it was a long day.
Yeah,
It was a long day.
I hear
But
you,
yeah,
man.
glad you can make it, man.
Yeah, appreciate y'all having me.
Hey, so before we dive into
Did you already do our housekeeping, or are you just about to get into it, Nate?
I was just about to get into it. So,
Perfect. Go for it.
okay. So as always, we are presented by. Are, are you going through your speaker or your headphones?
I'm trying to get the mic. Yeah, well, you're catching feedback.
Yeah.
All right, let me try one more time.
But as I was saying, as always, we are sponsored by Serpentine Expeditions, Ian Breland's company. So, purveyor of high quality herpetoculture, herpetology tour guides all over the world. So, I know I had to double check their website again, but they at least used to have some open slots for their Komodo expedition. Uh, I believe Ecuador is probably still open. I could probably just pull their website up real quick.
Which is nuts if it is. I mean, come on, guys. That is a trip of a lifetime. I'm telling you, April may not be prime time per se, but if you catch it just right, it should be spectacular regardless.
Yeah. Well, northern Peru, that's still open, as is Komodo, Sumatra, and Zimbabwe.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah. Whole slew of
Hmm.
potential right there. Yeah.
Suriname probably be, your best bang for your buck as well.
Yeah.
Just given the size of the country and just the
Nah.
overall density of habitats.
Yeah. But when you do go there, decide to go with Serpentine Expeditions, be sure to use code CK25 at checkout for $100 off of your booking. Which, $100, that's go a long way. That could upgrade you from economy to business class on your flights in and out. So please be sure to use our
Everything.
code, save yourself a little bit of money, and enjoy an excellent herp tour experience. And with that, I think we should get to our guest, the main focus of tonight's episode, Mr.
Yes, the
Jacob Bratz.
the Pantherophis pioneer.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah,
So,
But yeah, let's dive into that since I mean a long time ago you once were known by what was it, Morelia?
yeah. It was all at one point. All I had was carpet pythons, and 99% of those carpet pythons were popping carpets or IJs, whatever you want to call
so what made you fall
Harpoon.
from grace?
them.
From Grace.
If I'm being completely honest, yeah, this isn't a secret by any means. I had a Nido breakout that killed most of my collection many moons ago, and once the dust settled on that, um, I met Chris Montross with Dark Horse Herpetoculture, and I always liked the whole locality side of stuff, like with the carpets between, like, and that's why I got into, poplins. So you still get wild caught stuff and that whole like locality aspect of it. And then I started learning more about the colubrid side of things and to where you can get even more specific into specific counties, specific roads, and yada yada yada, and GPS coordinates, and that just made my nerdness go through the roof. So
Start
that's kind
ODing on Tylenol.
of pretty much, yeah.
Well, maybe I can't. I don't know if I speak for the rest of us, but most of us start with colubrids and then we move on to other taxa. But it sounds like with you, I think you started with colubrids, right? And then you went on to carpets, and then you got corrupted again with colubrids.
Yeah, so my start was, I mean, kind of weird. I guess technically the first snake I ever had was a colubrid, but that didn't last very long at all, unfortunately. And then had a ball python and then some various colubrids. I really didn't have a very big collection until after college. I only had, 4 or 5 snakes at max. And after college, it was all carpets, to be honest. Like a couple
joining Smitty didn't help because over the years, dude. Because I've been with you guys since the start as well. I've been a long time fan, and you guys just I remember when Smitty had Cresties, and darts and everything. I mean, many transitions you guys have had.
Yeah, and that was, it was weird. It was funny because when we linked up and started doing the show, he had cresteds and he was all about his green trees, and I pretty much was balls to the wall carpets. And now we've both kind of made that transition to mostly colubrids. Smitty still has, obviously, we both still have some Lomorelia. Smitty still has the green trees. I still have some carpets here. Not many at all, but I still have some. And now I recently picked up a pair of boas and stuff. So, but yeah.
Are you pairing any carpets this upcoming year or so?
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to breed some this.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, I haven't produced carpets since 2020. So.
Yeah, I mean, your freaking offsprings from the last clutch are adults now. It's just crazy to think about.
Yeah, I'm hoping mom's a little on the. She's getting up there. She's 13. She turned 13 this year, so she'll be
nice
going on 14. I think I might try to put her son back to her because man, that's gonna would be an incredible pairing. But the last time, yeah, right. But the last time I paired her, she actually slugged out, and I haven't paired her up since. So, we'll see. I don't know, but yeah.
Are you aiming for light or dark?
Yellows, man.
Yellow, yeah.
Really light faded yellows, because I feel like you don't see a lot of it. A lot of people with the IJs, they focus a lot on the orange aspect, which is awesome. I love those dark orange, sunset, poplins. But this girl, when I got her, she's just very, very yellow in such a unique way, and her son really shows that, especially when he's fired up. So yeah, we're gonna try and make some really low, not super busy patterning, and some yellow. We'll see.
I'm all about it, man. I mean, variety is a spice of life, especially when you have poplin carpets. I mean, that market is still not, I wouldn't say in its infancy, but it's a market that you could definitely expand upon for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot to be done there still. They're gaining more and more popularity for sure, but yeah, there's still so much to be done.
Switching gears a little bit, what sort of, at least some of your colubrids that you keep? I know you kind of a rat snake aficionado. So like, was it white oaks? Is that?
Yeah, that's one of them. I've got, it's mostly rat snakes here. That's the large majority of what I have. I think to me it's because they're kind of the carpets of North America in a way. And that's, they're semi-arboreal, they're big, impressive snakes, and they're just super easy and they're so much fun to me. So yeah, I've got a lot of different locality rat snakes. I've got 3 or 4. I got 4 different localities of gray rats. I've got I don't even know how many different localities of yellows, Everglades, black rats. I've got fox snakes. So
Oh, you still got the fox snakes? That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I still have
Eastern
those.
Or Western?
Western. Yeah.
Dude, you got to post those up sometime. Because I remember the last time we talked, I know you still had them, but it's been a minute since I've seen, any updates on them.
Yeah, no, they're getting up there. They grow weirdly. They grow
slow.
They've grown slower than the rest of my stuff, and I got to a point where I was like, "Am I doing something wrong here?" Because everybody else is getting big, and they're really not. So I recently upped their food, their prey size. So they're popping up a little bit. But yeah, they're doing awesome. Yeah, and then I've got some other odds and ends. We got Barons, Hognoses, we got Ridley Eye here.
I was gonna say with those fox snakes, if they're Western, so they're the type you find in Wisconsin. You need to balance their natural diet. You need to give them their natural diet to have their full nutritional set. You need a pump full of cheese curds and quart and Miller High Life. Okay, you need to start putting those in. That's what's going to get them bulk up. They're not going to develop into a proper cheese head unless you do that.
That's
I mean, they are girthy rat snakes, so you are denying them the proper diet, Jake.
I have to do that. That's how everybody bulks up out there. So. These people are from Wisconsin are a lot of things, but small is not one of them.
You have them swing by Culver's at least once a month or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I give them Culver's cheeseburgers all the time.
Are there Culver's in the southeast?
We just got one here in Beaufort, but there was a couple in Florida and Georgia, and we just got our first one here.
Yeah. So. Nice, speaking of which, the campus I go to, there's actually a Culver's right next to it, so. Guess where I'm making semi-regular stops now, Bryant.
There you go.
Oh, dude, I don't blame you. I just had Culver's last night, so.
Culver's is legendary, man.
I'm on the train. That's awesome.
That's fine in Wisconsin.
So, also, I was curious. I know you still deal with pits, right? Or are you kind of moving those off?
No, I moved a couple recently. Ones that weren't so front and center of focus for me. I had some morphed San Diegos that I moved along. Just again space things, and then I had some Brewster County stuff that I ended up giving to my buddy. Because I wanted him to work with those, and I can only handle so many very large Pituophis. But yeah, I've still got I've got albino southerns, I've got normal southerns, I've got black pines, some Jani floating around.
I mean, you touched on an excellent point. Just that as your collection grows and ebbs and flows, I mean, your preferences change. I mean, and there's nothing to naysay about it. I mean, it's just collections change.
Yeah. And that's okay. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, I got this and now I don't want to shy away from it because blah, blah, blah. Like, to me, that's stupid, man. I mean, you're not going to know if you like something if you don't keep it for a little bit, and sometimes it doesn't work for you.
And this is why you should get Paleosuchus.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an investment, Nate.
Yeah, no.
Oh, come on. You just put them in a 10-gallon fish tank and say the size of the tank, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
You can't tell I'm being sarcastic. That is heavy sarcasm. They do not do that. Do not do that.
I'll keep them in my bathtub. They'll be fine, right?
They'll last till the winter. Yeah. It's long enough.
Well, no, he's in South Carolina. He's got those soft hands winters down there.
Yeah, that is true, and I'm not going to complain about it at all.
You shouldn't. That's awesome, dude.
No, it was 30 below the day I was born in Wisconsin, and I'm good on that. So
you just popped down. North is going down south.
Yeah.
What drew you to the pits though, man? I know you like Pituophis, but what drew you to keeping some?
Oh man,
They're pits, dude. They're awesome.
yeah, but
And
and
obligatory,
that's
but still.
yeah. There's not much to not like about them. They're big, and it's most for me. It's the pines. They're just big,
Yeah.
impressive animals, and the keeled scales, and just the way they act, and they're just such a unique you know subset of snakes, and they're all just amazing. I love them to death.
I mean, they're the Chads. They're the Chads of North American
Yeah,
favorites, you
yeah,
know?
and they stand behind it, dude. They're not gonna. When it's cool when they're calm, because they're just these beautiful, impressive, and every one of them is just gorgeous. You can't show me an ugly Pituophis. You won't.
But if
Uh,
there's even a hint of a mouse scent molecule in the air,
oh, it's over. I've got my male albino southern. He's a very sweet snake when it's not feeding time. But if that mouse that rat scent is in there, it's on. He'll come at you. Um, but and then like my black pines, like everybody has this stigma of like black pines are so mean, they're terrible. I don't know how I lucked out with mine. I have these sweetest black pines you'll ever see. I can reach right in, take them out. They're give me no issues whatsoever. I absolutely love those black pines. Yeah, they're just I like larger animals for the most part. So that's hence the rat snakes and the pines. So
I might
I
be
mean, they're
getting.
almost a perfect. My bad, Nate. They're almost a perfect sweet spot of a
yeah,
size snake. They're a bit girthier than a rat snake, but they're not too much so. And
yeah,
they're pretty,
they're still manageable.
yeah, they're reasonable.
They're kind of a
So,
nice halfway point between, say, a big rat snake and a dry marcon almost.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that people really need to be aware with them is, they're a big snake and they have high metabolisms. So you feed them a lot, you feed them big items, and they're gonna run right through it. And 2 days after you feed them, your room's gonna smell like ass. So just be aware.
So I have a question for you as an experienced pit keeper. Would you say maybe making like some sort of incision in the skin or something like that with the prey item you give them would aid in their digestion since they do digest their food so quickly?
So a lot of people do the whole cutting the rodents thing. Smitty's a big proponent of that. Is it proven that it works? Sure. Do I do it? No. I don't.
ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, I've got too much. I've got too many things. Like I got too much going on. Like it's just, and to me, it's not natural. I understand we keep snakes in boxes. Nothing's natural about this. I understand that, but to me, it's like it's not. Mama Nature ain't giving them no
Yeah.
cut rodents. Oh, I'm not going to.
Because my pits, I don't know, my gophers, I don't know why, but I come in 2 days later and it looks like just a poopified mouse. It doesn't even look like a regular dropping almost. So I don't know.
And I haven't had that problem. I have gotten like
Which
some
I'm kind of
fur
nervous
and
about
stuff,
as well
but
because the thing is I have my male and female together. I need to work on getting my cages split up because they'll bully each other after I get done feeding them. Basically trying to because they smell a mouse on each other's lips basically, and
yeah.
so I need to get them more permanently housed separately. I think, but I don't know if they're just
Yeah.
stressing each other out. I don't think they're regurgitating because they've been doing that for like a year and no one's turned over. So
Yeah.
Yeah, just less French kisses for them, Nate, for sure.
Yeah, I'll say pits are one of the colubrids I would never cohab together like full time. For that reason, they can be high strung, especially when they get around each other, and there's rodent scent in the air, and I don't know if you've ever seen. I don't know if you've ever seen Pituophis breed, but it's not exactly gentle. So if there's any type of breeding activity going on, it's pretty aggressive.
A little harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll make you worry. You almost have to like look away and be like, all right, I'm just gonna let them do their thing. She'll be fine, I hope.
See.
But,
we touched on pits. What about Lampros? Are you kind of a Lampronaut or not so much?
No, I've got a couple. So my Lampropeltis love is more in the milk side of things. I love Eastern milk snakes. So I've got, as far as lamps go, I currently have some Christmas Mountain Desert King snakes, which I am obsessed with. I love those things. They hate me and they crap everywhere as soon as I take them out, but they're beautiful and they're smaller.
Underrated, dude.
Yeah,
Underrated.
I love Desert King snakes. They're so freaking cool. And then this locality is pretty small. Like adults are like in the like that 3 foot range, and you know they're
Perfect.
really, yeah, really manageable. I've got a locality California King that I need a male for, and then I've got Allegheny, North Carolina, Eastern Milks, and Wilkes County.
Oh, you still got those.
Yeah.
Good.
And I've got the Wilkes County Eastern Milks as well. And then I've got a Mole King as well. Moore County Mole King.
So. Oh, you got the Prairie King's sexier, smaller cousin. I see.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Those Prairie Kings are nice.
I love them, but yeah, some of those Mole Kings, man, the orange on them.
Ooh, yeah. I had a pair. Unfortunately, the male did not thrive with me, so he's no longer with us, unfortunately. But I have this lone female. She's super red. She eats wonderfully, but good God, do those things take forever to grow? They because they're so tiny and you have to feed them such tiny stuff for so long. You know, they really takes them a while to get up there. But yeah, they're doing great. I love milk snakes, man. I really like my milks. Just wonderful little snakes. I'm not going to say I'm looking forward to getting babies one day, because I've heard that is a challenge to get babies going. But regardless, I really enjoy keeping them. Super fun snakes.
I mean, if Schmitty has dealt with like Alterna, surely he's going to rub some knowledge off of you when that time comes. But dude, yeah, because, you know, herping wise, and I think I told you before, I find tons of milks, and the babies are just unreal. They're gorgeous, but I just think to myself, like, if I were to keep something this size, I would stress the fuck out. You know?
Yeah, for sure. And you know, they're tiny, man. I've had them. They were. When did I get them? God, man, I think I got them last year. So they're about a year old now. And they're still just eating the smallest pinkies. Yeah, I'm starting to give them the bigger pinkies out of the bag, you know, but man, even still, because like they're so weird because they have these itty bitty heads, you know, and their bodies aren't very proportionate to them, you know, so they, you know, the pinky looks okay on the body, but then they grab it. And I'm like, golly, dude, I don't know how you're going to get that down, but they do it. They can take weirdly big meals. But yeah, I keep them in smaller tubs right now that I can make sure nobody's gonna slip out of any cracks anywhere, because man, they'll get out of anything if you give them the opportunity. But
yeah, I mean, of the colubrids, I would say it's the king snakes and, you know, the rat snakes that you really have to watch out for when it comes to that.
Yeah, I'm very particular about making sure stuff can't get out, because I've had some mishaps. That's for sure.
No, it's no fun, dude. I guess when it, you know, since you're big on locality, especially with the rat snakes, have most of these you've seen in the wild? Like, have you seen Deckerts in the wild? Have you seen Everglades? Just kind of run us by some of that herping stuff.
Unfortunately, no. I've never seen a true Everglades, I should say, you know, because there's rat snakes.
Tough, right? It's getting tougher to find those.
There's yellow rats that you find in the Everglades in South Florida, and then there's Everglades rats, which are, again, you know, like Bryant said, getting harder and harder to come by. Deckerts, no, I haven't been able to make the trip out to southern Key Largo. I have found the only ones I have found personally right now, as far as the rat snakes go, I have found black rats in Georgia, and this year I got my South Carolina black rat. And then,
Nice.
of course, yellows. I've found yellows all over South Carolina and Florida. So
Yeah, I was gonna say it
And the
sounds
one,
like we should schedule a future boys trip down to South Florida then.
yeah, dude, I'm down.
Meet up with
I'm
Phil.
hoping, yeah, for
you know what would
sure.
be fun to find? It'd be fun to find Castaci rats, or I mean Castaci corns.
Yeah,
That would be a fun one.
Yeah,
yeah, those would be really cool.
who knows? Maybe they'll
Um,
have the next Croc Fest down South Florida again.
yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I'm hoping next year I can go cross off my gray rats. I don't know how I haven't managed to find a gray rat in Florida, but
Oh, come through, man. Oh, you mean like the actual gray rats? Like,
yeah, yeah.
Not whatever random naming convention we come up for in the Midwest.
I cry.
Yeah.
Our rats are cool too. That would be neat.
Yeah. But yeah, like a few.
What about some of the my bad name? How about some of the Western rats? Like I know Smitty likes his bears. Do you care for bears or so? I know you don't care for like the Great Plains because you had thorn scrub rats, right?
Yeah, I actually so I got Nate actually had my trio of adult thorn scrubs, and then so I kind of got out of those, and then my buddy Chris Painchab hit me up and was like, "Hey, dude, I've got this really cool thorn scrub rat project." I forget what he calls them, but they're of course their locality. And it's just something weird that I cannot remember what he calls them, but it's something weird going on with the saddles to where they kind of look like butterflies. And it's his little homegrown, wild collected, project. And he had some babies, so he sent me some of those. And then I also have a wild caught Emery.
So you're glutton for punishment still.
Pretty much. She's great though, dude. Like, I never see her, but I find her, let her know there's food in the enclosure, drop it on a piece of paper towel, and it's gone the next morning every single time.
Well, they definitely seem to be more secretive than like the usual rat snakes.
Yeah, they're definitely, from what I can tell from her, yeah, very, very secretive. The thorn scrubs, kind of the same way. My thorns are pretty much the only ones that won't eat off of tongs. Like my thorns and my emery, they will not eat off of tongs. I drop feed them every time. But they always eat. They're little assholes, but they always eat, and that's all I care about. So yeah, I kind of just I got the itch again and wanted a couple of them. As far as birds go, though, I kind of just like leave those to Smitty. If I get my hands on them,
right?
Yeah, right. If I get my hands on some locality Mexicans, I absolutely would. A lot of people like those silvers with the reds underneath, which are incredible. But I think the Mexican localities are really, really cool with that little gray sock on their head. And so if I could find some of those, I probably would dip my toe in a little bit, but
And what's your opinions on green rats? Because personally, if I were to get into rat snakes, it'd probably be some kind of locality yellows, but the green rats, man, they really get to me.
Dude, I've heard so many horror stories of people in the Southeast keeping them, and that's not a cheap snake to kind of
No, it's not.
gamble with, you know what I mean? Plus, I would feel horrible because they're so hard to come by, and I just don't think they would do good here. So as much as yes, I love green rats. I freaking love green rats. One of my biggest goals as far as herping is to get out to Arizona and find some green rats. It's going to be a tall order, but but yeah, I probably not going to end up keeping them until one day I can make like a desert room type of scenario, because man, they got to be kept super, super dry.
I mean, those Baja rats and subox, they're kind of all in that subset of like, the desert adapted rats. So yeah, you do need to put in a little bit of extra work and maintain them. And it's like, especially for you in the Southeast, that's a bit more extra work,
Yeah, for sure. And it's the same with subox. I fucking love subox, man. They're super, super cool. But again, Phil and Smitty have both told me like, oh, they'd be fine in your room, blah, blah, blah. But
I'm going to
I
be
don't
honest
know.
with you. We kept a sub box at the Herpetarium at Bob Jones on paper towels, and they did just on newspaper, and they did just fine. So, and we didn't do anything special like dehumidify the room or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Granted,
I've heard
granted it's
they
in
do
Greenville,
well.
so it's all the way up in the hills, so it's maybe a little less humid.
Yeah. But still, it's a little less humid, but Greenville still gets its fair share. And I don't know. It's just one of those things. I'm way more into keeping stuff that's native to where I'm at because it makes my life easier in the sense of like what's going on outside is what I can do. Like, as far as like cooling goes, brumation. I stick all my snakes in my garage for the winter. And people who have to do it artificially are like, all right, they go down this day, come out this day, whatever. I don't have to do that. I'm like, oh, it's cold now, garage. Oh, it's warm now, take them out, and so it's just easier for me to do that. The only stuff I'll have to look into possibly artificially incubating are like my hog noses. But everything else, man, being native, it just makes it super easy, like
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
so.
I mean,
I'm all
just
about
keeping,
keeping
just
things as
keeping,
natural as
yeah,
possible.
yeah. I mean, just keeping temperate stuff is like the bee's knees in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think I told you I have a king rat, and they come from a big range, but most of the range is temperate. So, in a couple of weeks here, I'm gonna put her down as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, switching gears a little bit, going from herpetoculture to just plain herping, you obviously are a co-host and one of the founding co-hosts of Flipping Tin. So, you want to start, just give a little, just how you got into field herping? I know you went over a
Yeah.
little bit, but
Yeah. Herping's, I feel like herping, no matter how you look at it, um, I feel like I'll say upwards of 80 to 90% of people who keep, that's how they started keeping. Because like herping isn't going to a destination and finding your target and doing all this and that. Herping is when you were 5 years old sticking toads in your pockets. You know what I mean? Like, at least for me. So that was always how I got my start into reptiles. There were tree frogs and toads and anoles all over the place, and I'd spent every waking moment I could out there doing all that stuff. So that was my start into herps in general. And now as I got older, I got more into it because of a buddy. Several years ago, he was here on his graduate study for Diamondbacks, and so he I ended up herping with him a lot. And after hanging out with him, I got way more into it and serious about it, and spending some real time and spending real hours on roads and WMAs and any public land I could get my feet on. And I just, with the flip and tin stuff, I saw a gap in herpetoculture of I feel like everybody who had a podcast like talked about it casually on their shows, and that's wonderful. It's great because I think herping is amazing. It's literally my favorite thing to do. So I saw the gap in herpetoculture, and I was like, you know what? Let's talk about this, more and more, as much as possible, and get it out there. And so I talked to Sky, he's the other founder of Flippin' Tin, and we made it happen, man. And it's turned into something awesome. We love doing it. We've been slacking a little bit on getting episodes out. Because life's busy, dude. Life got really busy for Sky. Life got really busy for me. And our biggest thing with the show was we never want to force anything. We don't want to force an episode. We don't want to make an episode go longer than it has to because we're like, oh, it has to be an hour and a half. Whatever. Like, an episode gets cut short, it's fine. If we can't record that week, it's fine. If we force it, it's not going to be good content. At a certain point, yes, of course, we want to get an episode out, which we're working on it. But again, we don't want to.
I was going to say, do better, and we are definitely in a place to judge you. So
yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun, man. And it's inspired me a lot to get out there and do more. And same for the other fellas, and adding Gabe was such a, it really brought the podcast to a whole new level. Like Gabe's super, super knowledgeable about, field stuff. It's what he does. He's a naturalist for Berkeley County, so it's bringing him on board as a full-time co-host was a great move. And we've got a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipeline. We just want to talk about catching snakes, man.
But I was going to say, as a herper, you're kind of in one of the best places in the country for herping in coastal lowland South Carolina, basically right next to Georgia. You have access to that whole southern pine woods ecosystem complex. That's not that far from North Florida for you.
No, not at all.
And you can even get to the Appalachian Mountains. It's not that hard.
No, I am only a few hours from basically whatever I want to find, and it's really cool. I can find majority of the stuff here. Like I'm down to 5 or 6 species left for the state of South Carolina, and I found basically all of those here locally, minus my black rat. Had to go upstate to find those. Had to get my queen snake up up north in South Carolina.
I was gonna say, man, you've had a big year, and then if you want to, I guess, allude the listeners to 2 really big finds this year. Like one was I guess a glimpse of your coach whip that we won't talk too much about.
Oh yeah, dude, that one still kills me today. But we can count it because finding snakes isn't always about catching snakes.
Exactly.
So,
but then you had another big one that happened, I think in March, and I congratulated you on it. But dude, it's crazy how time flies. Like March feels like it was so long ago.
Yeah, that feels like it did not happen this year. But yeah, we got our lifer Eastern Diamondback, and it was March 1st of 2025, and that is a day I will never forget. I mean, it was incredible. I've been searching for that snake for years. I tracked them, with my buddy who's doing doing his masters, and that was incredible. But to me, it felt like cheating. I was going to count that as, a lifer. So finding that snake this year it was my first outing of the year. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, especially if the Ramblers don't know, EDVs in South Carolina, their distribution is real patchy. Unfortunately, now it's getting tougher and tougher to find them in states like that. So
yeah,
that's a big one up for all you guys.
Yeah, it was huge, man. Unfortunately they're getting harder and harder to find here, which they're abundant in the areas that not abundant isn't the right word. They're definitely on like the barrier islands around here. But that's almost it. There's small pockets and populations on some of the more urbanized areas, but those will, if they're even still there, they won't be long. So they're getting very, very hard to find in coastal South Carolina. So being able to pull one up on some home turf was incredible. Is genuinely one of the best days of my life.
I was gonna say, if you're going to count those Diamondbacks you found with your research partner, I guess Gabe would have to count that. Now I'm blanking on the name. Those little brown snakes.
Decays?
Not Dion. No.
Decays.
That decays you hike 20 miles to bring to him. So
no, actually, the decays that really got him, Jack. When we were out herping with Jack in the upstate, Jack dipped off and was in the woods for a little while, and he came running out, and he's like, "Gabe, look what I found. It was like right there. Gabe's like, you son of a bitch. Like, Gabe's very particular, and I respect him a lot for it because I'm the same way. But because Gabe wasn't there when he flipped it, type of thing, it's one thing. We'll count it if the group finds it, and we're all kind of there to see, as it lays, type of thing. But Jack was off in the woods a little bit and couldn't get anybody's attention, so he just grabbed it and came and showed Gabe, and Gabe was like, "Well, I can't count that." But,
yeah, it's
I'm in the same mode.
it's like, hey Gabe, guess what I found?
Yeah, exactly what it was. It's funny. I mess with him all the time about that one because I road cruise decays on my spot. Beautiful decays, by the way. Mine are like orange from the spot, weirdly. But I send him pictures every time I find one. And I'm like, suck it, Schuler. Yeah, it's a running joke. He's going to save that one for the last species in the state.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got a pretty decent swath in South Carolina. You guys also got pine snakes, right? Like southern pine snakes.
Yeah. That one, actually, as far as I understand it, pine snakes, the northerns and southerns, have officially been lumped. So they're just pine snakes now. But yes, we have what I would consider southern pines here. That is one that has still eluded me to this day. It is driving me nuts, but such is life. They're not.
Well, next April has your name on it. Let's say that.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a WMA opened up here that is just beautiful sandhill habitat, and I'm going to be spending a lot of time out there. That's where we got our coach whip this year. So going to be spending a lot of time out there trying to actually get a coach whip in hand and hopefully get a pine. So
nice, man. I mean, I'll speak on my behalf in terms of herping. And like you were saying, this year was just a busy year. Still managed to do a few trips, but for the most part, I spent the time herping very localized herping, which nothing wrong with it when, going back to your roots. Next year might have to switch up some things.
Yeah.
Make some noise, as they say. But what are some, I guess, herping aspirations / maybe trips, so to speak, that you would like to do or make in the upcoming year or years?
Yeah.
You touched on going out west, like Arizona. That'd be nice. But
yeah, Arizona is probably top priority right now. We have so many connections in Arizona, and it's just a matter of getting out there, So Arizona is top priority. I definitely want to do some more northern herping, by you guys, and try. I really want to find a fox snake. Really want to get a fox snake. So that's definitely up there. And then hopefully West Texas one of these days. I'm gonna really try to do Arizona next year. Arizona next year is, like I said, definitely top priority. Arizona, West Texas, up north. Would love to. Anywhere out west would be great. But I mean, to be honest, early next season, like springtime, is when me and Gabe are really gonna lock in on getting, like South Carolina milks and moles and stuff like that. So those are crossing those off are going to be big. We crossed off a couple upstate things this year with Jack. We got our black rat, and we both got our lifer queen snake this year.
Queens are cool, man. I like
that was a big win, dude. I was super happy with those. We actually found a shit ton of them, dude. Started off kind of slow. We managed to get one in a ditch, so me and Gabe both got hands on that. And then all of a sudden, they were just out over the branches of the water everywhere, and we're like, "Oh, they're just here."
I mean, they can be like water snakes. Sometimes they can be stupid abundant.
Yeah. And that same trip, we also got our Midlands/Northerns, whatever you want to call them, where we were. There's more so like different phases and intergrades, and so those were cool. But yeah, definitely want to get up north for some stuff. Our buddy Devin is over in New Hampshire, and Lord, I would love to go spend a weekend with him in New Hampshire.
The waters over there. I mean, what they lack in like snake diversity, they make up for just like the color palette.
Yeah, dude, they're incredible.
I've heard good things about like the black rats they have in like Western Massachusetts and stuff like that. Are those supposed
Oh
to be
yeah,
like really? I heard some of like those supposed to be like really, really dark black almost.
yeah. No, I don't know
Okay.
much about them out there, but once you get into that northern territory, the rat snakes are so variable. They look like grays, they look like blacks, and just all types of different
Yeah, and the one I found this summer was like black blotches, but almost like a sandy yellow undertone.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
But
I still want Sky and you, Jake, and including you, Nate, to come down to Oaxaca. I still
Ah,
envision that being
dude.
a thing.
I was gonna say
Ah,
Colombia, but sure.
Come on, yeah. Baby steps, Nate. Baby steps.
No,
Costa Rica.
I would love to do that
Yeah,
trip.
yeah.
Gabe went to Belize this year, and that's another one that I would absolutely love to go with him on. So definitely, the out of country trips are probably gonna have to wait a bit longer for me personally. But one day.
They'll always be there, man. They'll always
Oh
be.
yeah, no, I'm got plenty of time.
He went to
So
Belize. That's cool, dude. That's
yeah,
again small and country size, but pretty big
yeah.
in terms of herp diversity.
Oh yeah, they killed it, dude. I mean,
Mm.
I found all kinds of stuff out there. But yeah, no, he
I
did.
was
He
gonna
did
ask,
great.
did he ever hitch up with the Crocodilian Research Coalition?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Missed opportunity.
Bummer. What
Yeah.
was it like? What do we call it? He went to like what, a research station and just herped some private land, or is that kind of the deal?
So, his buddy kind of runs the tour out
Mm.
there. So he's a guide with a company, and so he does all the or some of the guided trips out there. And Gabe was able to get on one of those with him. So I'm not exactly sure how all the details work, but as far as I understand it, his buddy does the guides for a company, and he kind of um, does
Yeah.
the whole planning process for it. So
Did you guys do a Flippington episode on it?
yeah, yeah, we did. You should go back and listen
Oh
to
yeah.
it. We did an
Uh,
episode dedicated to Gabe's Belize trip.
okay, I'll have to dive into that. But just some tidbits. I mean, did he get like what, like an indigo, like a Crebo, or did he get, I don't know, cat eye?
Um,
I don't know.
yeah, he got all kinds of stuff. I know the fertilances out there were abundant, so found
Sure.
plenty of those. He got a boa. They actually found like the same boa like 3 or 4 different times. Um,
That's cool.
but yeah, I believe they got some type of cat-eyed snake out there. Again, I can't speak for him and everything because they found. I mean, just herps in general. I think they found like 40 different species or something.
Ooh, boatload.
Yeah, I mean, because there was turtles and frogs and all kinds of stuff out there. But yeah, he found they absolutely killed it, man. They did very very good. But no, I can't recall off the top of my head all the stuff they managed to come across.
No worries. I'll definitely have to take a listen. And so the Ramblers, yeah, check out Flippin' 10.
Yeah,
They're on all the platforms. Friendly shout out.
I appreciate that, y'all.
Yeah.
And we actually had both Nate and Bryant on previous episodes, so go check those out.
Far and away your two best episodes, I might say. But uh, so
Obligatory.
talk about herping in South Carolina. What we say are some tips and tricks for people who wanted to do a South Carolina herping trip.
Yeah, how would you put people on, so to speak?
What's some geolocations you got? Do you have any pin
Yeah.
spots? If you mind publicly stating those, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no.
Here's one to start off with. Are you able to find, I guess, herps every month of the year there? And then on top of that, have you ever found snakes every month of the year in South Carolina?
No, I've never done every month of the year. Could I potentially? Obviously, in the colder months, that gets much, much harder. That is something I haven't personally tried to do yet. I know that's, some people's big thing is, finding a snake every month of the year. I haven't done it, probably definitely most of them, but January, February is when it gets a lot more difficult. But yeah, I mean,
Oh, come
winter
on, man.
herping.
My high school professor once found a garter snake in January here in Ohio. You're just making excuses, man.
I'm not saying I've never found a garter in like January, but I've never had a year where I know every single month. I probably over the course of my nearly 30 years on this planet have found a snake in every month. Yes. But
He's saying he
never.
hasn't put in the legwork, Nate. He hasn't put in the
No,
legwork. So
He's just been
not at
slacking.
all.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Whatever. But no, for herp in South Carolina, man, I mean, for one, I'll tell everybody South Carolina is made up of a lot of private property. And
That's
you don't want to be caught on somebody's private property, here, because a lot of it's massive plantations that are taking up thousands and thousands of acres. And personally, I like to road cruise all the public roads through said areas, but there's a ton of public land. There's lots of WMAs. Do your research, figure out what kind of habitat you want to herp. There's no shortage of it here, whether you're in the upstate, the low country. There's lots and lots of public land between WMAs and heritage preserves and national forests. There's a lot to do, and if you're curious and you're in the area, I'd be more than happy to take you out.
Yeah, it's been
I've
too
got
long since I've been in South Carolina.
Yeah, it's great herping here, man. I love it. I've got a sandhill spot where you can find all the really cool stuff, and I've got a spot I can take you to during the spring and you find 30 copperheads in the night.
To be
It's
fair,
been
that's
too long
like
since I've seen a cane break, which I have never seen one.
Oh
So,
well,
too long.
Come on, man.
I was gonna say, well, in terms of copperheads, that's pretty much everything south of Mason-Dixon line of Spring, though. So.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. We definitely have a lot of them, but that for whatever reason though, this spot, like I said, I think there was one night I found almost 30. It was like every 2 minutes I was stopping for a copperhead, and of course there's stuff in between, but yeah, it's fun. I love the copperheads, man. A lot of people are like, blah, another copperhead. I love looking at the different variations of them, looking at the little, intricacies of each individual. It's they're cool. I love them.
Yeah, I've seen some South Carolina herping videos, and I would tell the viewers like this: on some nights, it's like rambunctious ribbons and copious copperheads. I mean,
it's exactly what it is.
It can be a lot of that, which is nothing wrong. I love ribbons. I don't get enough of them, and copperheads as well. I barely get any my way here, so I'll be so down to see that vast amount of quantities of those.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. With ribbons, weirdly, what I've figured out with them is, I know this isn't saying much, but like if you go, a lot of people like going before, after a rain, which is always amazing. But during a rain, you will find ribbons. I don't know why, but there was one night I found probably 10 to 20 ribbons during a rain, and they were all sitting there just like periscoping in the middle of the road,
If
Looking for frogs,
if I had to take a guess, it'd be frogs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But they're really like during a rain, I normally don't see a ton, except ribbons. They're the only ones that I see like actively during a rainstorm. So I actually found, I think it was last year, I found the absolute biggest ribbon I have ever seen in my freaking life. Like I saw it and I thought it was a small, subadult rat snake. Ooh. This thing was the size, because it was just sticking out on the side of the road. This thing was the size of a almost adult garter. I didn't know that was possible. I don't know if it was some type of weird integrate. It had to have been gravid, but this thing was an absolute unit of a ribbon snake, and I was shocked, honestly.
Long back.
They're putting chemicals in the water to make the freaking ribbon snakes chunky.
Yeah, it was huge, man. That was actually weirdly one of
ribbon snakes.
That was one of my favorite finds that year, because it was such an anomaly, dude. Like I've never ever seen one that big. Had to have been slap full of babies, and I'm sure that's why she was so chunky. But Good.
Slap full and
God.
old, man. I love unnaturally large specimens of usually average size snakes. Like,
Yeah.
I can only count to like maybe 3 or 4 fingers of like enormous Eastern garters I've seen.
Yeah.
And I've seen hundreds at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you see that one, it just makes you appreciate it because you see that one. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, you've been through hell and back to get where you are.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You it's like, finding those big, around here, cane breaks are our, probably most abundant rattlesnake. And when you find that one that's just like, 5 feet long, it's big
It's
around your
special, man.
forearm, it's a special time. And actually pretty recently, just a month or two ago, me and Smitty found the biggest cottonmouth I have ever seen. Just crossing the road, and I'm like, dude, I'm glad we came across you because that thing, I mean, it was so around here, like our cottonmouths are very heavily patterned for the most part. You rarely see them super dark. This thing was so old, it was super, super dark on top. And I mean, she was almost as big around as like a tennis ball. She was every bit of 4.5 foot, just an
Jeez.
absolute beef bus of a cottonmouth. So just seeing one that size was awesome to me because it's like, man, you've been living good out here. And that's why I like the spot because like I've seen road cruising, you see a lot of small stuff, the small stuff that doesn't know better to not be on a blacktop road. But out here, because it's so low traffic, I have found the first cane I ever found out there was a big adult. But yeah, out there I see a lot of adult animals, adult yellow rats. I think that might be the only time I've road cruised an adult yellow rat on blacktop at night. But sure enough, out there. So
What about it's funny, I hear in some of the, I guess, herp discussion groups, I hear rumors of indigos sometimes creeping up into South Carolina. I think I read a scientific article. They used to be in South Carolina. But, have you ever heard rumors of them still persisting somehow in South Carolina?
if you ask Gabe, no, they are not in South Carolina, never have been because of the Savannah River. That's the one thing that stops them. I have a buddy that swears up and down, he's a snake guy. He's not a, a casual, reptile guy. He's a snake dude. His mom lives in my area, and he swears to God that she sent him a picture of an indigo. So would it surprise me if they were here? No. Do I think they are? Also, no. So one of those things.
Yeah.
I wish. But it also gives one less very hard snake to find that I need for the state. But yeah, they're that's just such an incredible species.
We'll just put it as a yaoi snake. Could be, could not be, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I mean, is it possible? Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Was it likely?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you do accidentally stumble across one, you're not going to complain, right?
No, God, no. I would be calling DNR and finding out if somebody lost their pet, but it would be.
This indigo has a lot of yellow on it.
Yeah.
You can always go back to Texas since you say you want to go back out west. You could always just fly in Texas indigos anyway.
Dude, I would love that.
Just Photoshop some palmetto leaves behind it.
Yeah, that would go down wonderfully in my world.
I mean, there's just so much AI crap on all these reptile groups, anyways.
Dude, I was just talking
an old school
you,
Photoshop would be almost like a throwback.
It's getting scary. It's getting scary out here, man. It's getting better. The AI snakes.
Yeah, you sent me that video, that one AI video of a croc attacking some dude.
Dude.
And the only reason it was fake is, well, what I think he said the guy grew a third arm or something like that halfway through.
Well, think about it.
But
Salty attacks you, and you're not bopping your hand
the
over
guy
his
just goes,
head. He just freezes. Like, dude, I'm bopping that thing in the eye. I'm doing everything. He just stopped. So, but still, pretty
Yeah.
realistic.
The way it's so funny because when AI really started getting big, you know, the quality was so good. It was like, okay, obviously this is AI, but now they've dumbed it down to make it look like it's coming off of somebody's Ring camera. So the quality is just bad enough to be like, oh wow, this looks real. And then you just have to like pay attention to stuff in the background because there'll be a random person just not moving. You know?
Yeah,
and somebody with like 5.
And the lower pixel count helps to hide flaws and stuff like that as well.
I'm telling you, man, it's wild. Like my boss I saw one the other day. It was like, you know, it was clearly supposed to be an alligator. This alligator came up on somebody's porch, and like a 3-year-old kid jumped on the back of it, and the thing ran down some stairs and off into the woods. And my boss came up, and she was like, "Did you see that video of that little kid jumping on the back of an alligator?" Blah blah blah. I was like, "Taylor, that was AI." And she's like, "No, it wasn't." I was like, "Yeah. It was. That kid would have been probably dead very fast." Like I mean,
I saw
no nonsense. That's American Steve Irwin. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I saw another one. It was like a Ring camera, and it's a little kid playing on his back porch, and a Nile crocodile starts walking up to him, and the very clearly American accented mom was like, "Bobby, come inside! What about giving treats?" Or something like that. It's like, okay, I know this is AI because one, I don't think any kid, no matter how much they love reptiles, would be that calm with a Nile walking up on you. And two, it's a Nile and was clearly suburban Florida for a background. So
yeah, it's getting ridiculous.
Then again,
man.
Florida.
Hey, that's funny you mentioned that because there was that one American croc Coco that do you remember this? I think it was in Brevard, Florida, and it got a dog, and it was in a canal, and they removed it, and then they took it to that one dude Kyle's facility.
Okay.
It's a story to look up on, but basically a nuisance croc, and then just got taken care of. Thankfully, not destroyed, but relocated to captivity.
I doubt they'd kill a federally protected species over a dog.
No.
Man, but the comments, everybody was saying that though. You know,
oh yeah.
What if it's a kid next time? I'm like, well, you're living in Florida. Learn to not be near sources of water.
Dude, that is my biggest fucking pet peeve about people from here.
Or when they say something's like if water source is infested, it's not infested. They were here first. What are you talking
move
about?
there.
That's like saying that's like saying New York City is infested with New Yorkers. I mean, it's technically true, but still, you just be a jerk about it.
Well, that one's a bit more reasonable to say.
Exactly. But like here, man, I mean, they're so quick to remove nuisance alligators, you know, from a lot of these private subdivisions here that have golf course ponds. And you know, it seems like almost every year some lady is walking her little dog by the edge of the water, and I'm like, bro, that's on you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why the gators got to pay for it, you know. But now all of a sudden it's a nuisance because they ate somebody's little dog and then ripped her arm off because she tried to get the little dog. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like that's 100% your fault. And I'm sorry. Like, you should give people a 101 on South Carolina when you move here. Don't walk your little dogs near the water.
Also, it's on you for getting a little dog instead of a proper sized dog.
Right. Right. A little dog would have ran away, you know.
Well, I'm empathetic to both sides. I have an ankle biter, but like you're saying, if you're going to the southeast or areas where gators live, come on, be reasonable, be woke or common.
It's one thing to walk near the water. Like, dude, I've been on and near the water my entire life. Never once had a gator come at me, you know, out of the water. Walked right up to him and no issues. But they see that little dog, and it's like, bro, it's if you want to walk near the water, it's fine. Pick it up. Pick it up. Like, you don't want it swimming around and drinking the water in there anyways. Like, it's a golf course pond. It's nasty.
Yeah. If you have it down on a leash next to the water, that gator's just looking at us like, I'm about to break into a Kit Kat right now.
Yeah, quick snack, man. You know.
Wow.
It's wild, and it just ticks me off to no end, man. But whatever.
Yeah, it's
So
gonna get worse before it gets better. I don't know.
yeah. So with I know as an Ohioan, you probably hate me because there's so many of us down in your neck of the woods.
I don't hate you because you still live in Ohio.
You're like,
Give it a couple
stay there,
years. Give it a
stay
couple years
there.
time. He'll be down. He'll be down there in a couple years.
Only for
Yeah.
a visit, only to go herping. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've had my fill of South Carolina, so
Yeah, we get a lot of people from Ohio down here. It's almost weird at this point. Like my previous position, I still work for the county, but I got promoted recently. But I was an inspector for 5 years. I can't tell you how many people told me they were from Ohio moving down here, and I'm like, what is it about Ohio that like you guys want to move here, like of all places?
well, that's
It's
because Florida's already
it's
filled it
almost
with people
Florida.
from New York, so
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we had to
Yeah,
we had to settle
pretty
for next best. So
Yeah.
that's,
I don't know, man.
that's
I
just
tell
Ohio in a nutshell. I guess we could have to do with this, but I guess this
Yeah.
will do just fine.
That is what I
Uh,
tell everybody though. Like the low country is the Florida of South Carolina. Like it's my buddy that was from Florida came here and he was like, it's the same thing. Like there's no difference. I'm like, yeah.
but where I was going with this was with South Carolina being, more and more urbanized as time goes on. Are you noticing it's going to be at least in certain locations, it's getting harder and harder to find stuff?
Yeah, for sure. Luckily, like I said, there's massive tracts of land that are privately owned here that will hopefully not get sold out. I'm hoping those stay. It's really the northern, so I'm in Beaufort. The northern side of Beaufort is very, very undeveloped and it's beautiful habitat. That's where I do all my herping. South side of Beaufort is an absolute crapshoot. Hilton Head and Bluffton. I mean, Hilton Head's it's a barrier island, it's Hilton Head Island. And I guarantee you, years and years and years ago, there were absolutely Diamondbacks out there. Not a chance anymore. Not a chance. Bluffton's kind of the same way. It's getting super, super developed. And now the city of Beaufort's getting super, super developed. And so it's getting harder and harder. Luckily, we do have several species that acclimate well to urbanization. So at least there's that. Hopefully people will just kind of let them live amongst them as much as possible. But yeah, it's definitely getting harder and harder to herp out here. I can't herp. I have to drive a minimum of 30 minutes to, go somewhere to herp. You got areas like Ridgeland and Northern Beaufort, and I actually herp out of Beaufort more than anything, or over in Green Pond area. But it's as long as it stays city side, we're good. But yeah, it's getting worse and worse. So, but that's
it should be a prerequisite for anybody that moves to South Carolina to watch, this one program. I think it's called Coastal Kingdoms, and it's by
Yes.
one
Yes.
naturalist dude, Tony Mills.
Tony Mills.
Dude,
I know Tony.
That program is the jam, man. I've seen all their eps. It's such a warm. He's a warm guy, and the shows they make are so quality, top notch.
Yeah.
He's a herp guy.
Yeah, he's a herpetologist. So I actually, for my internship for college, I actually interviewed with Tony to do my internship out on Spring Island, and unfortunately I didn't get it because they wanted a stupid forestry kid instead of the kid that likes snakes. So Tony wanted to hire me because I like snakes, but the job was for forestry, and the forestry guy who outranked Tony wanted the other guy. So whatever, I'm not bitter about it at all. But Spring Island, so Tony's actually the herpetologist for Spring Island, and Spring Island is kind of a gem. There's development there, but it's really, really big lots, and it's very, very minimal disturbance. Like you basically take out the trees you need to have a yard and a house. There's no clear cutting out there. People have 2 to 5 acre lots out there, so super, super undeveloped. It's beautiful, beautiful property, and the nicest corn snakes in the entire world live on that island. And I'm okay saying that because you can't get on there. It is a private island that you have to have special access to. Like you got to go through 2 gates to get out there. And it is a beautiful, beautiful area.
Well, I mean, how far of a swim is it?
There's nowhere to dock a boat, and
that's why I said swim.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if you'd want to swim over there. The current getting over there can get a little hectic.
I mean, you don't need a dock canoe, so.
That's true. It's true.
For those listening, I'm obviously being sarcastic. Don't trespass on protected areas.
Do that. Yeah, definitely don't do that. But yeah, Tony does great stuff.
Podcast does not support illegal trespassing.
For sure. But yeah, Tony does really, really cool stuff. He's a super nice guy. They got a cool little nature center out there. But yeah, Tony absolutely kills it with Coastal Kingdom.
Yeah, he does. Oh, speaking on corns, man, obviously South Carolina is renowned for the corn snakes. And obviously everybody knows about, what was it, a hunts club?
Hunt clubs, yeah.
In Jasper County or something. I mean, everybody knows it, but
yeah.
I mean, I've seen a few examples of corn snakes, and man, so rich.
Yeah, I mean, we have the nicest corn snakes in the country. That's not without a shadow of a doubt. I actually can herp hunt club. You can still go to hunt club. It's not as accessible as it used to be. You can't get out, into the woods or anything, but there's roads that still go through hunt club. Has not been very productive for me. I've tried several times, haven't found more than a couple water snakes and some garters, and I think I found couple cottonmouths, baby canebrake once or something. But yeah, it's.
Well, you gotta wonder though, have the corn snakes been decimated throughout the decades? Just
yes.
Like collecting, you got to think about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, people used to go out and, I mean, in a night, back in the 80s, 90s, they would collect dozens and dozens and dozens of these things, man. And I mean, literally, like, I think, I'm not going to get into specifics, but there was somebody that, there's a picture of him holding like 40 corn snakes that were collected in one evening there. And
that's got to have an effect. I mean, if old heads talk about it, and if they talk about it in freaking books, it was a special place.
It was.
Emphasis on was,
Yeah, and it still is. It's an iconic herping spot, and it will go down in history. Yeah, it'll go down in history as one of the best herping spots in the U.S. But it is not that anymore. At all, unfortunately. I know there's still corns out there, but Hunt Club is so big. To find one on the road is, you got to luck out. Hunt Club is massive, and it's all private property. That there's literally, you drive down the road, there's signs every 50 feet that say OPT Hunt Club, no trespassing. I mean, all over the trees. I'm sure they've got trail cameras everywhere. And again, I do not promote trespassing whatsoever. So I stick to the roads, and I make sure that anybody I take there knows that, and knows that if I ever find out that they were trespassing out there, that you are no friend of mine. So
amen, dude.
I don't take that stuff really.
Yeah. This is a more joke, but we've made this joke before that if you've never had a gun pulled on you, are you even a real herper?
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, herping, I have not. Herping specifically, I have not. So
other activities, on the other hand.
Yeah. Possibly once. Yeah.
Got pulled over for illegally long toes, or?
Yeah, I was actually driving with him. And, yeah.
Sir, you're supposed to use your hands to hold the steering wheel.
It's more effective this way. Get a better grip.
Am I missing something? Do you guys have a foot fetish? I mean,
no. Everybody makes fun of me because I have kind of long.
Everybody has their preferences. I'm just to clarify.
No. I'm actually super weird about feet. Not a fan. But no, everybody makes fun of me because I have gecko toes. I can hold.
Also, they're still all bent and long. I see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a running joke for a while now, apparently. So
You know, I know Smitty still deals with corns, but do you deal with any corns, being
yeah,
that they are red rat snakes? You know,
yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
I've got F1 locality, Ladies Island rat or red rats, which are here in Beaufort.
Those are the ones that Smitty produced, right?
Yeah, yeah. Smitty produced those, and then I've got I don't know what generation they are, but I've got Devil's Garden or Annery corns from Florida. Those are pure. They're like F2s maybe. And then I've got F1 Berkeley County Reds from Gabe. And then I have a lone wild caught Colleton County Red that I collected myself from my road. Little guy. It's doing real well. So,
Okay. Uh, any other native species, South Carolina species you keep?
South Carolina, obviously a bunch of yellows. The Southern Pines, those aren't my Southern Pines aren't locality or anything like that because I'll judge you if you keep a wild caught pine. If I'm being honest, I don't
Yeah.
really
There's
fuck
so
with
few
that.
of them.
Yeah, the only stuff I'll wild collect is stuff like corns and yellows and even then it's only small stuff. I don't take big stuff because they figured it out and that's not my forte. So, but
Yeah, and those
yeah,
are the ones that produce the most babies, so you're doing double damage to the wild population.
yeah, yeah. So I'll only collect little itty bitty stuff that can still get murked by basically anything.
A particularly
And then
aggressive robin might view it as a
yeah,
worm.
yeah.
Robin.
I mean, dude, even the bullfrogs out there, I
Oh
wouldn't
yeah.
be surprised
Oh,
if
yeah.
in a little baby corn or something.
Hell, bullfrogs will even take a baby gator if they can. So
Yeah, that's it's great. Those things are insane. But yeah, so I'm not, my Southern Pines are native South Carolina, but again, don't collect fucking pine snakes. I don't. I'll be upset with you. But
oh
yeah,
dang, you
yellow.
just upset the whole core of our audience. Our audience is like 95% southern pine snake collectors.
I know, right? Probably. But other South Carolina natives, yellows, reds, pines. I've got the Eastern Milks. They're not South Carolina locality. And I've got the Easterns and I've got the Milks. They're North Carolina localities. Got black rats. I actually have Spartanburg County black rats.
Okay, so,
I've got two. I've got South Carolina blacks and I've got North Carolina blacks.
yeah, so those are those be Spartanburg. That'd be up by where I was going to college then.
Yeah, somewhere up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine are F1s from Chris Montrose.
What about the dirty yellows? I know people call them greenish. I say dirty yellows. Do you have any of those or any inklings of one of those?
We don't call them greens. They're just dark yellows. The whole greenish rat thing really grinds my gears, but that's another conversation for another time. But yeah, I've collected. I collected a few yellows from my road that you would call dirty, but I've also seen some out there that are super vibrant yellow. So I don't know about that. But Ladies Island is what's known for those really, really dark yellows. And Smitty actually, and they ended up being a pair of these fresh hatchling yellows that were in a tree being chased by a coral snake.
The coral snake.
Yeah, the coral snake he found in that same tree, and he has every idea. I think was going to town on a clutch of babies, and he snagged two of the babies, and he was like, "Do you want them?" And I was like, "I'll guess." And they ended up being a pair, and I was like, "Hell yeah!" so that's awesome. But yeah, those are dark, and then I've got Berkeley County yellows that have those are pretty much your what somebody would consider a greenish. These are that clover green color. They're absolutely gorgeous. But the whole idea that they're do you know what greenish indicates technically? So
Like
the
some sort of
term
like hybrid zone sort of thing.
that's not true. But yes, that is what it indicates. It says that greenish rats are supposed to be indicative of a yellow-black hybrid. And I'll tell you this, and on Ladies Island, where you get very, very dark yellows, there's no blacks for many, many hours. So definitely no hybrid zone. And then the area that they really came from in the Horry County sector, still several hours from any black rats. So make it make sense because you won't. So they're just dark yellows. But yeah, that's my soapbox for the day. But
Out of many soapboxes so far. Don't collect southern pines, and there's no hybrids.
yeah, no, I'm not going to say they don't exist because I've seen an actual
no hybrids on
black
Ladies
and yellow
Island.
hybrid. Yeah, no, definitely not. I've seen an actual black and yellow hybrid, and that made sense. Yeah, no, the greenish thing grinds my gears, but whatever.
I think the main hybrid I'd be interested in looking for / keeping would be of a bull snake and a fox snake, just because a fox snake is already kind of a hybrid when you think about it. It's kind of like it's a built rat snake. It's built like a bull snake, but they exist here in Illinois. I know some have been found, I think in Iowa too, but that'd be a cool one to see.
Yeah, I'm all for some naturally, and that's like, I guess to me, like a black rat and a yellow rat hybrid. That's whatever. You're splitting hairs. A bull snake and a fox snake. Now that's fucking cool. Like I'd love to see that naturally. Granted, I'm not gonna be like, I wouldn't love seeing somebody doing that on purpose, but naturally occurring, hell yeah.
It's not like you're going to turn around, open some cages, go, okay, that makes
it
cool.
Yeah.
It could be worse. You could be one of those people that makes green tree ball python hybrids. It's just anathema to all things good and holy.
Yeah, no.
Great use of the word, Nate. But I was going to say, I just recently seen this one guy. I'm not going to blast him, but he keeps dry marking, and he just posted that he has either way it is. He has Texan, Corning, and Eastern, or other way around. Either way, he's trying to make something happen. I'm like, why?
Hybridizing a Texas and an Eastern, you said?
Yeah.
That's a waste of Eastern gametes.
Well, I'm glad you eloquently said that so academically. But yeah, just like, why? What's the point of doing that?
Yeah,
that's wasting an Eastern indigo's breeding cycle.
I mean, I get that the Easterns that we have in stock aren't the best genetically, but still, does that warrant crossing them out to a Texan? I don't know.
So, hot take: if it doesn't work anymore, fucking stop. I mean, I don't know what we're doing here. If you're producing a bunch of fucked up Eastern indigos, maybe just stop producing them. Not everything has to be in the hobby. Not everything has to be in a cage. That's my take on it. Don't go get a Texas just to make indigos. So you may as well breed it to a fucking whatever.
That's kind of my gripe with Aussie herps. Because eventually, and it's already happening, coming to a point where the genetic stock we have, because we're not really going to get new stock unless it's from like European lines. I mean, what we have is what we have, and eventually it's just going to
or species that range into New Guinea.
Yeah, that's why I was talking with the Poplins. At least we can get still new blood, but with all the other Aussie stuff, and I love stuff like Womas and the other carpets, but I just see myself, sometime down the line, they're just going to get degraded and not become what they once were. We're already seeing that.
Yeah, and I mean that's why when I was super heavy on the carpets, and that's why Poplins are still my favorite carpets, because you can still get new blood. Because I wasn't into the whole crossing shit, man. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Those animals are perfectly healthy. If that's your thing, that's your thing, but it's just not my cup of tea. And that's why I was super heavy into the Poplin stuff, because you can still get that new blood and not have everything inbred to shit without crossing the subspecies. And so it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, that's definitely going to be an issue moving forward, especially with stuff like rough scaled pythons. those
Yeah.
animals are pretty hard to come by, and we're not getting any new blood.
Yeah.
So
I mean, a close analogy is like the Louisiana pines, just because I think the original stock was like what, something between 3-6 animals. I mean, it's not a lot.
it's also with black pines. There's
Yeah,
stock on black pines is limited. I don't love that my pair of blacks are related. If they can give me healthy babies, I won't hold any back to put back to them. Like, I'm just going to have my pair and produce healthy babies, and hopefully those people will outcross my stuff. But I'm not, this will be, unless I get an unrelated pair, which again, that's hard to do. It's because a lot of them are related somewhere down the line. There's some stuff like the Deckert's rats, talking to Chris Montross, the Deckert's being such a small island locality, there's some stuff, the whole inbreeding thing doesn't really affect them, because that kind of got sorted out long time ago, because all they had was each other. So
I was going to say, I think scientifically there is a point where you've become so inbreed, it starts becoming a health benefit because you've actually already sorted out all the bad genetics and all the dead ones, all your dead cousins.
Right. But that takes a long time. It's nothing we'll ever be able to accomplish in captivity. That's only stuff
or
that,
with
like,
humans.
Yeah.
as much as Alabama tries so vigorously.
Yeah. So there are some
I was
stuff
going to say West Virginia, but I was like, oh wait, Zach Loffman is in there.
I won't leave him out of it. Yeah, there is that stuff that kind of sorted that out a long time ago, but those are isolated populations of things, and it's, I don't know. I'm big on producing healthy animals, and if you can't, then don't. They don't have to be in captivity. Go find one. They'll scratch that itch, just if not even more.
Yeah. But yeah, like, you gotta wonder with like some of these unnatural hybrids, like I mentioned that ball green tree hybrids, like, what would it be its natural instinct? Would it be like some sort of Shakespearean tragedy where he can't decide if he wants to be on a tree or on the ground?
It would just be confused all the time. No,
to be arboreal or not to be arboreal, that is the question.
Yeah. I saw one. I don't know if y'all saw. I saw one. I think it was last year. It was a pine snake, corn snake hybrid, and they called them pine cones. And it was the weirdest thing, and I didn't like it. It made me real uncomfy. It had this corn snake head with this Pituophis body, and it was an abomination. It made me upset. So
I was gonna say, one of the best things about Pituophis are their heads. It's like you just got rid of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's
now you just got a sandpaper corn snake.
I mean, do you still have that one hybrid, Nate? What do they call it? A jungle corn or something like that? It's a king.
I've never had one of those.
What was that at the auction?
Oh,
that was
no,
a hybrid,
wait, no. You're right. Yeah, I don't
longer have one now. Okay.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, it's like a Cali King corn hybrid or something, right?
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're weird sausage-looking things. I don't know.
I actually have, talking about hybrid rat snakes, I actually have a wild-caught hybrid gray-yellow intergrade, and it's one of the fucking coolest rat snakes I have. It's pink. I don't know where gray and yellow made it pink, but it's a wild-caught animal. They thought it was a Gulf hammock, and I was like, definitely not a Gulf hammock based on where you got it. But it was wild-caught, and the thing is fucking pink with a yellow sock on its head. Like, it's got this yellow head and the rest of the body. And when I say pink, I don't mean kind of pink hues. I mean as pink as your shirt. Like,
okay,
it's the weirdest thing ever, and it's awesome. I love it to death. Like, she's a wonderful snake. I'd love to find another one to try and get that into the hobby, but as it sits, I'm perfectly fine her just chilling with me because she's great and she's beautiful. It's really cool. But again, naturally occurring stuff, I'm all for it. just don't do it.
Don't force it.
Yeah,
You know,
don't force it. But yeah, hybrids are a touchy topic for me.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Some people.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. That's
So getting back to the field herping side, we already went over some of your top list domestic places you want to go. Arizona being really high up there. You mentioned. What about overseas? What's like the number one overseas destination for you?
I really want to go to basically anywhere in South America. I love. I'm a big wetland guy. I love me some swamps and wetlands in South America. It just sounds awesome for that. A lot of amazing species out there. I really want to go to Europe and herp around with Nipper. Kind of herp some different countries out there.
I was gonna say Nipper probably just want to come over to South Carolina and herp with you, but
no, he absolutely does. But Nipper's definitely told me the invitation is open for whenever I can make that happen. If anybody listening doesn't know who Nipper Reed is, you should look him up. He's one of the most renowned European herpers. Out there.
You had him on the Croccast, didn't you, Nate?
Yeah, I did a while back.
Yeah, he was one of our first guests on Flippin' 10 too. And
the fact that he has like, if not almost, but almost all, if not like what, one or two species of European species photographed is crazy.
That's finished.
Impressive. Oh, even more impressive.
Yeah, he just finished.
Until
some taxonomist hears that, is like, no, you didn't. I'm going to split off this one random little island.
And that's what kept happening to him. He kept finding all of them, and then he'd be like, "No, this is a new subspecies now."
There's one random seamount out in the middle of the Mediterranean. You have to try and climb that just to get this one lizard or something like that.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. He would go to these super obscure places just to find these little itty bitty lizards, and he's photographed as far as I understand it, he is now, because he just finished, he has photographed every single herp in Europe,
that's an impressive herp resume, dude.
Yeah, it took him 20 some odd years to do it. Nipper is a herping god. Like he really puts in the time and effort and travels a lot to get it done. And yeah,
the herp gods are always in favor with him.
I would. That's probably herping with Nipper is up there on priority for overseas herping. I'll pretty much just like fly to him and be like, let's go wherever you say.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I ever do that trip to Greece, I would definitely hit him up. So
yeah,
or maybe the Iberian Peninsula.
Corfu Island. Greece is definitely up there. Ladder rats, those are my pride and joy.
Yeah,
I think Situla, like the leopards, I think they're there too. Just a decent swath. So it's just decent.
Yeah, all the Europe stuff is like, it's never, the stuff that's there is there in abundance usually, but you have to go so many different places to find the different stuff, like the species are limited depending on the country, but usually there's.
Don't be nice. Just don't say the UK. Don't be nice.
Yeah, no. That's definitely up there, and obviously, Australia would be on the docket eventually. I feel like that's a pretty basic move. Everybody's like, "Oh, I want to herp Australia," but how could you not?
It is the move, though. It is. It's the OG move. Everybody would want to.
Yeah, I would love to go out there one day, and of course, that's probably the thing I'm most grateful for about all the podcasting endeavors. There's not many places I couldn't go and have a place to crash. So got connects everywhere. So.
Yeah.
Anywhere, man. Africa is way up on my list for a place to go herp. I'd love to do a Africa trip with like Phil or somebody, because he's got connects out there with all the species he keeps, and I would love to do that. All the places, man. I would love to herp.
Yeah. So
Often.
we said, what's one highest place you want to go herping overseas? And you just said the globe.
Everywhere.
El mundo.
Man,
Yeah.
Antarctica, those type localities they have down there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I would take any opportunity to go anywhere out of the country. I've actually never left the country ever. So I would very much like to do that and go
No
herp.
rush, man. I mean, the U.S. is huge, like you
Yeah.
were alluding to. I mean,
Yeah.
gosh, man, I still want to go back to AZ. I've only been there twice, and only the second time that I do some serious herping. So I'm with you, man. Green Rat all the way, and even Cali, you know.
Oh yeah, I would love to herp Cali. Me and Jack are actually gonna here hopefully soon. He's in the middle of trying to close on a house and move and stuff. But once that settles down, we're gonna start officially planning our Cali trip, or not our Cali, our AZ trip.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of gonna be one of those things. Him and I are gonna head it up, and anybody who wants to tag along, we're gonna be like, "This is when we're going. If somebody wants to go, meet us there." Like,
Yeah.
so it'll be a good time.
I'll have to see how next year unfolds for me. So
we're hoping to go in monsoon season, which would be late summer time. So it'll be good.
We'll have to see.
We'll see.
Yeah, come on.
I think in terms of questions, man, I think we got it out of the park. Unless you had something else to end on, Nate. I mean, there is something to end on, but did you have something else to put on blast for Jake here to put him on?
I mean, what brand of hair dye do you use? I
don't know. All natural, baby. All natural.
Turmeric.
Yeah, right.
Straight from the root.
That's right.
Oh, so you did choose to have red hair. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, I'm just joshing you.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I'm out of my questions for Jake, but there is one or two things I want to go over before we go off for the night.
Okay.
This is I don't know how much of a paleo nerd Jake is, but I know
Bryant, yes. Yeah.
There's two big items in paleo news in the past few weeks since last recorded. The first and more minor one is Prehistoric Planet's coming back with Prehistoric Planet Ice Age, and they just released that short of the giant ground sloths. Was it Coleonyx?
I mean, is that one of the smaller species?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
yeah, I mean, unreal docs.
So looking forward to that. But in bigger news, Nanotyrannus. It's appropriate for Halloween. It rises back from the grave.
The Dwarf King is back, man. The Dwarf King is back. The memes, the comments are just—it's hard to contain in the paleo world. It's pretty hilarious, man. I was a believer of I was a non-believer. I thought for sure there was just a young T-Rex. So
yeah.
Whoops.
I was kind of secretly hoping for it because it was the Cleveland Field Museum that actually found the type specimen for it.
So, oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so even if you go through Cleveland, John Hopkins International Airport, they actually have a model juvenile T-Rex skeleton in the airport, which now is a model Nanotyrannus skeleton. So
the Jane one, right?
Might have been Jane.
I think that's the only other one, but
I think it got split to another species of Nanotyrannus too.
I mean, for you, Jake, this one's closer to home. The dueling dinosaur, what do you call it, fossil? It's in North Carolina's. What museum is it? It's one that I wish I knew. Museum of Natural History.
I was gonna say it would be one of the university museums, maybe.
I think so, but it's up North Carolina. It would be a great checkout. It's a good facility, but yeah, I mean that's where they did the work to, I guess, classify that it is actually a different tyrannosaur. And even not even that similarly related to T-Rex. It's more in line with the other Appalachian tyrannosaurs,
Appalachiosaurus, Tryptosaurus. Yeah,
it's just crazy. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah, no, I'm not very familiar with all of that, unfortunately. But yeah, no, that's super dope.
Yeah, Jake was just sitting there going like, it's just like spitting the dart frogs again.
No, no, I love hearing it, man. I
Um,
haven't kept up with that world ever, honestly.
it can be tough sometimes because I think I told you before when I was on your show, they're fucking dead, but it's still cool. It's
Oh
still
yeah,
cool.
sure.
But
It's awesome, man. No, it's dope.
you know,
I mean, they're not
you had it. You
crocodilians,
had a,
so
no, they're not. But look, now you have a real world paleo example of short kings and tall kings.
Yeah, I'm all about the short ones. Let's go.
Right?
It's relatable.
Same. So yeah,
Are you
that was.
short, Bryant? I don't know why you seem like you're tall.
No, I'm 5'9", so I'm average.
Oh, okay, we're right there.
No.
5'9". Let's go.
5'9" kings. Let's get it.
That's right.
Average kings.
So, dude,
let's talk about the short
it
kings.
sucks. It sucks, man, because it's like you can be a
What do you
short.
mean?
You're either a short king or a tall. Then there's us. We're like
I mean, it sucks to be called
us?
average kings, but yeah, you
King
can't
number
all
one.
be honking chads like you, Nate. But I like my height. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
me and
So,
Smitty just
yeah.
looking down at you like pathetic.
How
you
tall
should
are
have
you?
drinking
Nate?
your milk. I'm like 6'1". I don't know. Maybe in shoes I appear taller, but
You seem tall. You seem like 6'2", because you're a little bit taller than Mike. Just
I
about.
think Mike's a bit taller than me.
You think? I don't know. I'm kind of
I
used to
don't
your
know.
guys'
All
height.
I remember is one that when I was at the Gator Country internship, the other guy intern we were just like sitting around BSing at night. It was like, oh, how tall are we each other? And he said 6 foot. It's like, really? Because I'm 6 foot. It's like, no, you have to be 6'2" minimum because I'm 6 foot. He's like, so as someone who's my height, what is absolutely hilarious to do is to see some dude trying to brag to a girl, like, yeah, I'm 6 foot, and be like, really? Because I'm 5'11".
I never, I never got that. I never got that about height. I never.
No, it's dumb. All I know is when I wear my work boots, I'm like a solid 2 inches taller, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a giant. But that's funny.
But to land her down, and you've been an awesome guest, Jake. But
Thank
one
you.
thing we usually end our guests with is this one question, which is what you kind of touched on. If you were to herp anywhere in the world or in the States, where would you be going and hoping to find?
Only one last destination left you could ever go to. The last choice. What is it? Lock it in.
Lock in.
And you can't say Smitty's garage.
Man, if there was one day left and I had my choice,
Anywhere in the world. Or the
I'd
United
stay
States.
I'd stay home.
Base.
That's home. It's homegrown, man. If there's one day left to herp, I'm gonna find my stuff, man. It's my life. It's my childhood. It's everything to me. So it was my beginning, and I'll take it as my end.
Okay. Maybe I should have
Very cool.
rephrased it a bit better. Maybe Billionaire says, I give you the one greatest herping trip ever, but only the one. Which would it be then?
If I could do it safely, I would go to Indonesia.
Okay,
Yeah.
solid.
If I could do it safely, because I could find all of the cool things.
So many pythons, so many colubrids, so many lapids, a few crocodilians. I mean, that's a respectable choice, man.
Yeah, if I could have one place, it'd probably be Indonesia. Where in Indonesia, I don't know, but I would want to be able to find a scrub and some popwins and stuff like that. So,
but yeah, okay, little learning experience for me. Next time I won't try and make it live like you were dying scenario.
hey man, if it was my last day herp, you said one place left to herp.
You made it grandiose, Nate. I mean, that was a beautiful way to end it. We could have just left it like that. But...
I know. I was like, dude, I just spit on these fools, and they're trying to change it up on me.
It's like, damn, that's too poetic for the show. We gotta dumb it down.
Whoops.
No,
sorry, Ramblers.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll just go fuck myself.
No, that was poetic. Man. That was awesome. But no, good choice. That's
yeah, for sure.
probably. I want it's Apodora on the Indonesian side. I think they are.
Yeah, that would be If a billionaire came out to me and said I could put you on any single species in the entire world, I would say wear the fucking Apodora. That's take me to them, please. Like that's
Now, what
to
would
me
you,
that is the snake of all snakes.
Oh my
now what
god.
would you do for that billionaire to get that favor? That's the real question.
The real question is, what wouldn't I do?
Even toe stuff.
Toe
I've got,
jam.
I've got pretty low standards when it comes to Apodora.
Same man. That would be. I mean, such a snake.
I
You
mean,
know, if
it's
I don't really like. I don't think I'll ever keep like a big species. But if I were sometime down the line when I'm getting old and decrepit, I'd probably keep an Apodora, and that would probably be my death sentence. But I still keep it. You know.
yeah. If I could dedicate an entire room to one snake, it would be an Apodora, because I mean, it's to me, it's the snake of all snakes. I mean, it's huge. It's intelligent. It's powerful. They're the intelligence of them is incredible. You know, like, and
They're
they're just
I call them scrub scrapers because I mean they eat freaking scrubs. You know, it's just
yeah. They
how more badass can you get?
yeah, dude. They're like in my opinion, they're like the king cobras of the python world. You know, like
Yeah.
they're just massive, impressive snakes, and there's so many snakes combined into one. You know, they're bigger than at least your Indonesian scrubs. You know, king horneye, I think would be
That's
about.
another one though. That's another one that'd be
Would
cool.
love to find king horneye, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But you know, they're just between the size and like they have the intelligence of a scrub. You know, like you can really just
Yeah.
see things clicking in their heads, and you know the fact that they fucking headbutt you is insane to me.
That's awesome.
You know? Like they're just so cool, man. They're so unique too, like just their head structure and their eyes, and they have like these bulldog heads, and again, like they're massive, dude. They're huge snakes. So I don't know. That would be my ultimate find if I could find anything on the planet. I would take an Apodora.
It's tough. It'd be those. Also, as much as they're talked about, I like Bolins. I love Bolins. I'd love
Oh
to see
yeah.
them wild as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, a Highlands cold temperate scrub. I mean,
Yeah. No, for sure. Then that's why, you know, I would choose Indonesia over anything.
there's so much to offer.
But man, it's sketchy herping.
Yeah.
It can be done. Plenty of people have done it. But
I don't know if you've watched our top 10 list episode, but yeah, one of our all-time bests we did.
yeah.
Yeah, and we had it on the list, or at least you did. I think I
Yeah, I
had
had
Malaysia.
like number 2 or number 3, so.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I went basic and had Australia number 1, so.
Sounds like a
Got
bitch
you.
move to me.
Oh,
Now, Australia would be number one though, just for accessibility purposes. I mean, as far as like actual realistically can do it and do it well, I mean, Australia would be the move. You know, especially getting to some of those like more obscure species in Indonesia.
I don't know, dude. I know you're a big fisherman. I would love to go out to to the sea and get those sea snakes.
Yeah.
in Oz. There's so many sea snakes.
I would love to do that, dude. My God. Yeah, I'm all about anything in the water. I'm there for it. Sea snakes are incredible. But yeah, for sure.
Well, we are nearing the 2-hour mark, so it's getting a little late. We also going to be Monday tomorrow morning, so even with daylight savings, probably should wrap things up here.
No,
Yeah.
man, this was a blast. Again, Jake, thanks so much for coming on, dude. This is as you put it, a banger of an episode. I'm definitely gonna be listening to this back again. So
Yeah, no, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all having me on, man. This was a lot of fun. I'm usually the one doing the interviewing, so it's nice to be on the other side every now and then.
yeah.
So with that, I wish you all a good rest of your week. To all our listeners out there, stay safe, keep herping, and thanks to once again, thanks to our guests for joining us. Thanks to my co-host for providing such a eloquent vocal performance as
Uh,
always. As
yeah.
I think I told this joke before, but yeah, I'd like to say Bryant's my Phil. So then, and with that, I bid you all adieu.
We'll catch you, Ramblers. Ciao.